Think about what happens when you meet somebody in America. Usually the first question is obvious. What's your name? What's usually the second question? What do you do? What do you do for work? And we act like that it's just small talk. I don't think it is. I think it's consciously or subconsciously a lot of time what that person is really asking, where do you rank? Are you important? Do you have money? Do you have influence? Are you above me? Are you below me? Can you do something for me? Should I be impressed by you? And once you start paying attention to this, you'll see it everywhere. You can actually watch conversations change in real time. Somebody asks another guy what he does, and he says, I'm a surgeon. Suddenly everybody's interested. Oh, really? Where do you work? How long have you been doing that? What kind of surgeon? But if the answer is something they perceive as low status, the conversation can be completely different. Oh, cool. And then they move on. Nothing about that person's character changed. Nothing about whether he's a good father, about whether he's loyal, nothing about whether he keeps his word, nothing about whether he should stop on the side of the road and help change a tire. They learned his occupation. And from that one piece of information, they decided how much attention he deserved. And that's freaking weird when you really think about it. And I think America has developed a massive problem with this. We have confused status with value. And they are not the same thing. I've had an interesting life because I've been around people from all different parts of the world, and I've been all around the world. I was in the military. I spent 2 decades working in industry. I have owned businesses, and I've worked in media, television, magazines. I've been to conventions. I've traveled. I've met wealthy people, famous people. I've met actors. I've met people who didn't have shit. And one thing I've learned is that money, fame, and status are absolutely terrible predictors of whether somebody's actually a good human being. I met an extremely wealthy man this one time, and very wealthy. He was actually developed weaponry for the military industrial complex. And he was one of the nicest people I've ever been around. And he didn't ask for anything. He was very unbelievably kind. He helped people, actually. He treated people well no matter what. He saw you at Thanksgiving at a gas station. He says, do you have anywhere to go? He said, you guys can come to my house. He didn't walk into a room expecting everybody to kiss his ass. And he genuinely asked questions about other people, like he was interested no matter what part of the scale you were. I met wealthy people who were also completely the opposite, absolute pieces of shit. I met actors and people with legitimate fame who were incredibly humble. One of them I'm good friends with to this day. Famous actor, incredibly humble. You wouldn't know he was an actor, right? And if you didn't know what he did, you'd probably guess, you wouldn't guess that from talking to him. And then I've gone to conventions and I met other influencers, if you want to call us that, people with less followers than me, a lot less. And they act like they're Elvis freaking Presley. And you're sitting there thinking, brother, calm down. Nobody's storming the building trying to get your autograph. But somewhere along the way, that number became their identity. And I've seen the same thing, exact same thing happen on the opposite end of the economic spectrum. I met people without much money who I wouldn't trust as far as I could throw them. And I met people who probably didn't have $1,000 in their checking account who were some of the hardest working, most loyal people I've ever known. People who would show up when you needed them, even if you weren't that close to them. People who'd give you the last shirt off their back. People who didn't give a damn what kind of watch you were wearing, what kind of car you drove, how many followers you had, or what your job title was. They cared whether you were their friend. And if you were their friend, they had your back. So eventually in life, I stopped being impressed by what somebody has, and I started paying more attention to what somebody is made of. There's a massive difference. I've also noticed when I've traveled outside the United States, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that other countries don't have class problems. Of course they do. Some have incredibly rigid class structures, and I'm not talking about those. I'm just talking about my personal experiences. I've been to places where people didn't immediately seem concerned with finding out what you did for a living. They didn't care. They want to know where you were from, what kind of music you listened to, what kind of family you had. Usually people I met outside the country, in foreign countries, they immediately would ask how many children I had. Why was I there? What did I think about their country? Their food. We'd sit around, we'd eat together, drink, talk. And sometimes occupations, questions come up. Most of the time, never. And that's really something refreshing because we were just people. But in America, status has become almost a language. Your occupation, your neighborhood, your house, your car, your watch, your clothes, where your kids go to school. Oh, they go to that private school. Who you know. Hey, how many followers you got on Instagram? What tables you're sitting at? What freaking blue check mark you have beside your name? We've created thousands of little ways to tell everybody else where we supposedly rank. And social media poured gas on that fire because historically, you never compared yourself to people around you. Maybe your neighbor had a nicer truck. Maybe somebody at work had a bigger house, whatever. Now you wake up, pick up your phone, and compare your ordinary Tuesday morning to the greatest moments of 10,000 other people's lives. Oh man, somebody's in Dubai. Somebody bought a Lamborghini. Somebody's flying private. Oh, look at that dude. He's shredded. Oh man, so-and-so just sold a company. Oh, he got to meet this celebrity. Somebody is apparently making $1 million a month while working 17 minutes a week from a laptop on a beach somewhere. And eventually you start thinking, man, what the hell am I doing wrong? Maybe nothing. You're comparing yourself, your actual life, to everybody else's advertisement. And I think where that gets dangerous is when status becomes your identity. You become incredibly easy to control because now you have to protect it. You need a bigger house. You need a bigger promotion. You need another car. You need to know people, successful people, and you need people to know how successful you are. You take on debt to maintain an image. You stay in jobs you freaking hate because it sounds impressive. You spend money you don't have to impress people you don't like. You tolerate relationships that make you miserable because from the outside, your life looks successful, awesome. Oh, look at us, happy family. Or you're with a model that treats you like crap. And eventually you're not living your life anymore. You're maintaining the character you've created for everybody else. And that is a prison, a very expensive prison. And the crazy part is that everybody watching you might think you won. Now, I want to make something clear, though. I'm not anti-money and I'm not anti-success. I'm certainly not anti-nice things. I like big trucks. I like night vision goggles. I like guns. I like watches, man. I like having things I work for. And I work to make more money, not less, right? I think most of us do. There's absolutely nothing noble about being intentionally broke. I'm sorry, it's just not. Money gives you options. Money gives you freedom. And money can give you, your family, security. It allows you to help people, which is probably one of the greatest gifts that you can do. So this isn't some bullshit speech about how money doesn't matter. Money absolutely matters. What I'm saying is don't confuse something you bought with something you became, because they're completely different things. And that's where I think we need to start separating two different types of statuses: purchase statuses and earned statuses. Purchase statuses is easy to understand. You can buy a watch. You can finance a car. You can buy clothes. You can finance all that. You can get a bigger house, big finance. Hell, today you can even buy followers. You can rent the Lamborghini. You can rent the private jet and set it up for a photograph. You can manufacture the appearance of success. Many people do. Many people you follow on Instagram and get blown away by, they don't own none of that. But earned status is different because there are things money cannot immediately give you. Take your body. You can have all the money in the world. You can't walk into a store and buy 10 years worth of physical training. You can't buy 1,000 workouts. You can't buy the discipline it took to get up when you didn't want to. You still have to do the freaking work. And that's one reason I believe being physically capable carries a certain level of respect. It represents investment of time, right? When I see someone in shape, I know they're a disciplined individual out of the gate. When I see someone there in shape, I know they're disciplined and they're hardworking. Two huge things in the world of any job environment. And I think that some people will hate you, but they won't say anything to your face. They may say something online, but generally, when you're walking around town, people give you respect just by the way you carry yourself because you are in shape. Anyway, this also goes in the same kind of thing as knowing how to fight. You can buy the most expensive gear on earth. It doesn't make you dangerous. You can buy a black belt and hang it on the wall. Doesn't mean you can fight. Competence has to be earned. Go train, get hit, lose, learn, come back, do it again. Eventually, you become competent. And nobody can Amazon Prime that junk to your house. It's the way it is. Knowing how to fight is respected. That's with fists. That's with grappling. That's with knives. That's with guns. You can earn a level of respect just from knowing how to be a dangerous person. Okay. And I think it's paramount. It is, because most people don't have the discipline to do it. But skills work the same way. You get genuinely good at something, and I don't care what it is. Build something, fix something, learn a trade, learn how to speak publicly, learn how to lead people, learn another language. To me, I can speak Spanish, and that is like a superpower. It is. It's incredible, especially if you can talk to other people with other people around. They have no idea what you're talking about. Or go to a Spanish-speaking country, and you're the only gringo there that can speak their language. They automatically give you respect. Learn how to run a business. Learn how to cook. Trust me. Who doesn't like a good meal? Learn how to work on an engine. Trust me, I don't know how to do that, but I got lots of respect for people who do. And I call those people whenever I need them. Become so good at something that people come to you when they need it done. That's earned. That's earned respect. And there's something else you can't buy: reputation. You can buy publicity. You can buy 20 years worth of people knowing that when you say you're going to do something, you're going to freaking do it. You can't buy loyalty. You can't buy trust. You can't buy the phone call where somebody says, "Hey, man, I need help." And they called you because they know you'll show up. That takes years. Then there's family. You can buy your kids everything on earth. That doesn't make you a good father. You can give your wife a giant house, big ring. Doesn't mean you have a good marriage. Some incredibly wealthy people are absolutely freaking miserable when they walk through their front door. Most of the time, they'll spend all day at work and all night at work just so they don't have to go home. Relationships aren't built with money. They're built with time, presence, sacrifice, trust, attention. You can outsource almost everything in modern life. You cannot outsource being somebody your family respects. That's an earned status. To me, it's infinitely more valuable than impressing some stranger at a restaurant. There's another form of status almost somebody talks about: self-respect. Do you have a routine? Do you get up when you said you were going to get up? Do you train when nobody is watching? Do you keep promises you make to yourself? Because everybody talks about wanting respect from other people, but some people don't even respect themselves, and they know it, man. They know it. And that's why they're constantly looking for external validation: another purchase, another promotion, picture, another like on their post, another person telling them that they're important. Because when everything gets quiet, they don't actually like the person they're sitting there with. And no amount of status fixes that. It's probably one of the most important things you can do. No one's going to respect you if you don't respect yourself first. And that's keeping promises to yourself, keeping yourself disciplined, telling yourself no when you need to be told no. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes we make. We try to look valuable instead of becoming valuable. There's a difference, man. A valuable man doesn't have to constantly tell you he's valuable. Usually, if he is, He's not valuable. You figure it out. You watch how he handles pressure, how he treats people who can't do anything for him. That's one of the biggest things that I've noticed in life, is that how I can tell someone's a piece of shit or not is that they'll be a friend or in a relationship with someone that they can't get anything from. Most people are only friends because they want to use them, right? It's a big one. Watch how somebody treats the waiter. Watch how they treat the janitor. Watch how he talks to somebody who has absolutely nothing he wants in life. That tells you infinitely more about a man than watching how he behaves around somebody powerful. It's why I always, anyone who's serving me at any time, a waiter or anything, I'm extremely respectful to. Extremely. Anybody can kiss the ass if somebody's above them. Character shows up in how you treat somebody who can improve your status. And maybe that's why I've become less impressed with status as I've gotten older, because I've seen behind the curtain. I've seen people who look incredibly successful from the outside who are freaking miserable. And I've seen ordinary people whose names you'll never know, who have built incredible lives, good family, good faith, good friends, useful skills, strong body, people who respect them, people who love them, and just enough money to live, and a reason to wake up in the morning. And if we're being serious about it, which one of those people actually won? I think we've all allowed society to answer that question for us for far too long. So the next time somebody asks you, what do you do? Tell them there's nothing wrong with being proud of your career. There's nothing wrong with being successful. There's nothing wrong with wanting more, but understand something. Your occupation isn't your identity. Your bank account isn't your character, and your followers aren't your reputation. Your car, it's not your competence. Your house isn't your family, and your status is not your value. Build the things no one can hand you. Build your body, build your skills, build your discipline, build your faith, build your relationships, and build a reputation for keeping your word. Become useful, become competent, become somebody people can depend on. And obviously try to make as much money as you can while you're doing it. Just don't confuse the money with the man. Money can solve a lot of problems. Usually most problems here in 2026 is solved with money, unfortunately. It's just a fact of the matter. You can lose your job. You can lose your title. You can lose your money. You can lose your house. You can lose the car. You can lose your followers. All that shit can disappear. But the person you had to become to earn the things that actually matter, that is yours.